I'm Prabhu from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Gudla and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune in to Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inaya Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and this is FBC News. Tonight, Fiji secures 3 years Super Rugby hosting rights. Over $23 million collected for Prime Minister's Relief Fund. And reforms help FNPF become a billion-dollar institution. Good news for rugby fans. The government has sealed the rights to host Super Rugby matches in Suva for the next 3 years. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama said today that Fiji will host the Chiefs versus Crusaders match on the 19th of May at ANZ Stadium. In an earlier interview with FBC News, the Prime Minister noted it's a great achievement for the country in sealing this deal Super Rugby until 2019. Bainimarama says it's not only rugby, but they're also trying to get more international matches in other sports.
But Super Rugby booked down for the next 2 years. But we've, besides that, there's also been other talks on other sports, rugby and netball, of course.
The PM's Relief Fund collected a total of $23 million. Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum has revealed that of that amount, $18.2 million has been used and $4.8 million is left. Shireen Shivan reports.
The Prime Minister's Relief Fund was divided into 4 parts. Under the Prime Minister's National Disaster Relief and Rehabilitation Trust account, the government received over $10 million, out of which $8 million has been used in the Help for Homes initiative. There's now a balance of over $2.7 million.
Major infrastructure works going on, building of Irish crossings, bridges, etc. And of course schools. With the schools directly, we are spending about in excess of $132 million for the major grade category 3, 4 and 5. There are other some schools have sustained what may be called superficial damage, and that's being funded through another means.
The second one is the Prime Minister's Disaster and Rehabilitation Fund Trust account, which had over $5.6 million, which has all been used for food ration and relief supplies. There's also an existing disaster preparedness account, which had $468,600 received from the New Zealand High Commission. The account is left with zero balance as all the funds has been used for food ration and relief supplies.
There's the rebuild of public buildings such as government quarters, nursing stations, and of course various other government facilities like agricultural buildings that have been damaged, agricultural stations.
The government's Central Fund account, which received donations from China and the Asian Development Bank, had a total amount of over $6 million. From this, over $1 million was used for Help for Homes initiative, while around $2.3 million was utilized for food ration and relief supplies. Syed Qayyum says Fiji had also received aid-in-kind assistance for relief and rehabilitation works. He says the remaining $4.8 million in the Prime Minister's Relief Fund will be put to good use. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Complaints against certain Land Transport Authority officers have been lodged with the Fiji Independent Commission against corruption. FICAC spokesperson Nandini Vandana says they are following the required procedures and will assess the complaints accordingly. LTA Chair Vijay Maharaj has confirmed the recent investigations into the affairs of the LTA have been referred to them.
Recently there were some investigations carried out and we decided to hand it over to FICAC for their further investigations. So we do our internal investigations, and if we find there's something there for further investigation by other agencies such as FICAC, we then give it out to them for further investigations.
The Fiji National Provident Fund is now a leading player in our financial system. Speaking at the 50th anniversary of FNPF last night, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama said this has only become successful due to timely reforms undertaken by this crucial financial institution. Kelly Vadala reports.
The Fiji National Provident Fund is now a billion-dollar institution. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says FNPF is entering its second half century, more secure than any other time in its history.
Although the reform process was painful, it benefited the fund and stopped the rot. And I'm very proud that my government has the resolve, the will, the determination to push those reforms through. Because history has proved us right, that intervention has been vindicated.
Bainimarama says FNPF has been gaining strength as the reforms have paid dividends.
We became aware of the wake-up call that had not been heeded by previous governments and FNPF boards. A wake-up call, I will not forget, the news that because of mismanagement and lack of foresight and vision under the supervision of previous governments and boards, the FNPF was on a steady course to win. Indeed, we were told that we would run out of funds altogether within 40 years.
Some of the reforms at the FNPF is going digital to provide better access to services, diversifying its investments, enhancing social security, and using its 50th anniversary to restructure the FNPF to improve its overall culture. Kelly Pathala, FBC News.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation will continue to champion national unity and patriotism. FBC Chief Executive Riaz Said Qayyum made the statement in a press conference today in response to the negative comments levelled against the company for comments made on its locally produced TV show Wasir Basha. FBC says it is now searching for a new host after the amicable departure of the show's producer and host Nemani Bainivalu. Roland Koroy reports.
Recent comments made by Wasir Basha host Nemani Bainivalu have been the target of criticism in recent weeks. In response, FBC CEO Riaz Said Qayyum says it's sad that a single incident was being used against a company that always had the national interest of all Fijians at heart.
FBC was the first media organization that actually had internal policies about calling everyone a Fijian. FBC was the first media organization that actually had an internal policy about not differentiating between people's races, because everyone is a Fijian.
The incident was shared on social media, with a few even calling for the CEO's resignation.
If we had not done anything about this incident, yeah, sure, then we were at fault. But we have acted immediately. We have acted quickly, immediately, extremely fast to contain the situation, to admit that something that was not supposed to have happened, and we want to fix it and we want to move on.
The host, amidst all the controversy, has admitted that the comments were his alone and that they were irresponsible. FBC maintains that the comments were not insightful, but they caused offense to many because it stereotyped in an offensive manner, and that is why action was taken to end Mr. Bainivalu's contract with the FBC. Roland Koroy, FBC News.
The Reserve Bank of Fiji has revised the year-end inflation forecast upward to 5%. From the 3.5% expected earlier. The inflation rate has remained above 5% since May, mostly due to the destruction of local agricultural products by Cyclone Winston, especially Yangona. It hit a peak of 5.9% in August and then began dropping to 5.6% in September. The Reserve Bank of Fiji says the high Yangona prices have persisted and unexpectedly rose last month. The report speculates if prices remain at similar levels, it is likely inflationary pressure will continue towards the end of this year. Coming up on FBC News, a third state witness gives evidence in seditious comment trial. And using social media to promote EU-Pacific relations. Stay with us.
Daw vinakaviyo na ba ang Bull FM. Neron daw vinkarabyo ben hilo po viroro ozo. Na Bull FM naman doon na siya.
Iyo Bull bina ang peli untuk taliten na parang Bull FM na bu.
Namban doon din nga ng Bull FM no sur. Bull FM namban doon sir.
Bull siya kuni ba ulambasa na ko bila merikibi Bull FM namban doon na sir. talita itu ngai lemas.
Bula FM number 2 and Ser.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The third state witness in the case of opposition MP Moses Mbulitavu and former businessman Jagat Karunaratne told the Suva Magistrates Court that none of the accused directed him to spray paint the alleged seditious comments. Eroni Takape was cross-examined by defense lawyers Aman Ravindra Singh and Barbara Malimali. Shireen Shivan reports.
State witness Eroni Takape says he did not spray paint on plastic surfaces but only on wooden surfaces. Takape had only yesterday admitted in the Suva Magistrates Court that he had done paintings in public places along the Suva-Nausori corridor in August 2011. Defense lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh had made an application for a canvas to be shown in court, but Takape denied that it was his writing. Takape told the defense lawyers he was just following instructions. However, these instructions were not from Moses Mbulitavu and Jagat Karunaratne. He says the directives were given to him by his operations manager Eparama Rokotakala, who also gave him money to buy the spray paint. The matter has been adjourned to November 14th when 24 other witnesses will take stand. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The summing up in the Villikesa Soko murder trial didn't proceed today because one of the 9 accused wasn't present in court. Defense lawyer Iqbal Khan produced a 6-sheet for the 7th accused, Jonah Ndavonu, who Khan says has been unwell since yesterday. State prosecutor Lee Burney objected, saying it's better the summing up is done as soon as possible, while closing statements are still fresh in the minds of the assessors. Judge Justice Arunal Thuje has adjourned the trial until Monday. All 9 accused are alleged to have raped and assaulted Villikesa Soko on a hillside in Malevu, Singatoka in August 2014. 3 men who allegedly threatened a family at their home in Nambua outside Suva last Saturday night have been remanded in custody. Semisi Rambakoko, Apisai Ratumai Korolevu and Tuvan Raunindalo are charged with 1 count each of aggravated robbery. The 3 were earlier charged with criminal trespass by night, indecently annoying a person, criminal intimidation and damaging property. However, prosecution today filed amended charges of aggravated robbery. A ruling on their bail application will be made on Monday before the case is transferred to the High Court. It has been once again proven that social media has become an important platform to access and provide information instantly. The European Union had organized a social media campaign 2 weeks prior to the Europe Day celebrations this year, which generated a lot of interest among youths. Savara Tumbua has more.
The aim of the Europe Day 2016 social media campaign was to use students to create awareness on the work of the European Union in the Pacific. Students were encouraged to take pictures using the Europe Day selfie frames and post them on their social media pages.
It is becoming a more and more important tool here in Fiji. I have colleagues who work in larger countries with much bigger populations who don't have anything like the number of followers that I have here.
Shilpa Sharma of Unimono High School and Tainang Wiwalu of St. Joseph Secondary School won the campaign awards as they received the most number of shares on Facebook and retweets on their Twitter accounts.
When I heard that I'm getting the prize for that, which I was not really expecting, I was jumping in my house, telling my parents I won a selfie competition.
I think they told us was just to take a photo with the frame and to put the hashtag as EUPAC. And to state at the bottom what was one of the interesting things that you grasped from the projects that they were focusing on.
The EU ambassador says the hashtag EUPAC was retweeted and shared over 8,000 times in just 3 days. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The wives of the Fiji Correction Services officers today had a chance to showcase their artwork and handicrafts. Sainian Imboilo reports over 100 wives took part in the annual Officers' Wives Handicraft Fair in Suva.
This is the first time these women got an opportunity to showcase and sell their products.
During the previous years, we always engaged in sports events. This year, we are so grateful to have this show organized for us to show what we are capable of.
Ulamila Erabu of Lewuka says her talent has helped her generate income for her family.
All these handicrafts have greatly helped my family financially. I have 6 children and they are all in Suva. And through selling these handicrafts, I was able to come and visit my children in Suva and support their education financially. The market day offered a variety of homemade products ranging from beddings, kitchen sets, assorted house ornaments, and traditional handicrafts of many designs.
Yesterday, I learned so many new things which I can make and sell to gain more income.
I love today's event because I love making handicrafts. With today's craft show, we managed to know each other better and to show our capabilities and learn more.
More than 150 wives took part in today's craft show. Many came to showcase their talents, while others came to strengthen the Corrections Service family bond. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
Sports now, and here's Jamie with a preview of what's coming up.
Nakadaki and good evening. In sports up ahead, Beba to seek advice from Ben Ryan. And Fijiana all ready for historic match. This and more coming up.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiriki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Silipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
New Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Beba will not make any quick changes to the team when he takes over in January. Beba will maintain the current coaching staff and says he will also seek advice from his Olympic gold medal winning predecessor Ben Ryan. Vasnil Prasad has more.
It's going to be tough. We're going to have to...
Gareth Beba is not shying away to say he will take advice and tips from Ben Ryan when he begins with his new job in 2 months' time.
I have no reason to think that I wouldn't do that. I've got very strong views on how I run things as a rugby coach and as a rugby manager. Ben obviously has his and has utilised those whilst he's been in Fiji. But again, I'd be a fool if I didn't pick up some of that information off him.
For Beba, coaching Fiji comes with a huge responsibility. He comes in with zero knowledge about Fijian rugby apart from what he has seen in the past few years.
Look, I don't rule anything out. I've got nothing to hide. You know what I will do is try and utilise all the resources I can possibly do and manage those resources to ensure that we're getting the most effective programme we can for the players.
The 44-year-old will not make any quick changes to the Fiji 7 side, but first wants to gel in well before taking any further steps.
For me, quickly to establish and understand what is going to be beneficial for us as a team and as individuals. And once I get to that point, then I can start making some good decisions on.
Fiji begins its campaign in the Oceania Sevens next week, and Beba says he will not interfere until he joins the side before the Wellington and Sydney Sevens.
It would be disrespectful of me to start pushing my orders on what that would be at this point in time. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Beba arrives into the country on the 2nd of January. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
A new chapter will be written in Fiji rugby's history when the TFL Fijiana 15 side battle against Papua New Guinea at the Anzac Stadium tomorrow. Meli Tavanga, who was at the team's last training session this morning, reports that the team is raring to get on the field in front of their home crowd.
The Fijiana 15s need to be psyched for tomorrow's match, and what better way to kick the game off than with a war cry. The girls will make their intention known when they perform the Vimbi tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be a tough one. We're looking forward to the challenge that's ahead. We're not taking them lightly, but we're ready to bring it and to show them what Fiji women's rugby is made of.
The PNG side is undoubtedly a worthy opponent, but the Fijianas are confident of a win, even looking beyond tomorrow's match.
We're looking forward not only for the qualifier in Hong Kong, we're looking forward to qualifying all the way through to Rugby World Cup in Ireland. So, the end of the road is not tomorrow, that's just the start.
It's not just the qualifiers that's on the line. The Fijianas will also play for pride, with this being their first home test.
For the girls to own their role and know their roles, and then we're not taking the game away from our flares and our speed.
The Fijiana side hosts PNG at 3 p.m. tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium.
The road to the World Cup for the Fijiana 15 side begins now. They know what the game against PNG means to keep their dreams alive until next year. Meli Tawanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Papua New Guinea is looking forward to a physical game against the Fijianas tomorrow. The touring side expects the home team to come out firing as both teams try their best to earn a spot at the Women's World Cup qualifier in Hong Kong next month. PNG has been bolstered with the inclusion of 6 Australian-based players. Vice Captain Melanie Kawa says they know the Fijians are big and strong, but they also know how to compete against them.
Camp is feeling really good. We're vibed. We're excited. We're staying with the same hotel with the Fiji girls, so it's all smiles. And but come tomorrow, it'll be very intense. We're expecting a very physical first half and second half, but we're hoping that the crowd gives us a little bit of home crowd support as well.
The Fiji National Rugby League has a few issues to discuss at the Rugby League International Federation's annual general meeting in Australia later this month. From player eligibility to more international matches for Fiji, the FNRL is looking forward to this year's AGM. Rohit Deo with the details.
The Fiji National Rugby League has in the past faced difficulties in getting overseas-based players on its team.
So it has been, there has been a paper that is now been endorsed by the majority, and it's going to be formalized there, and that will open up, opportunity for our boys playing overseas who can either play for the countries that are playing in or opt to play for Fiji.
Getting top quality opponents is a challenge faced by island nations. This is highly likely to change after the next AGM.
It also gives an opportunity for Fiji to actually arrange matches, top matches, not only for the before the World Cup, but even way before the World Cup and just before the World Cup. We've begun talks already.
The International Rugby League AGM will be held on the 28th of this month in Australia. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
2 Vanuatuan police netball teams were part of a day-long netball tournament organized by the Fiji Police Women's Network Association today. The tournament was specifically to enhance the engagement between the two countries. A total of 7 teams competed in the tournament, which included 2 Fiji police teams, 2 police wives teams, 2 teams from Vanuatu and a team from the Fiji Corrections Services. A few members of the Fiji Pearls were also part of the tournament.
And it's also in 3 folds just to improve on our MSG partnership, also to enhance the Fiji Police Women's Network relationship with the Vanuatu women's team, and also to have a look at how best we can address women in policing in the region.
Team Fiji won 2 gold and 2 silver medals at the 2016 South Pacific Bodybuilding Championships in Tahiti over the weekend. Tekesoni Yanuyanunrua won gold in the men's open 90-kilogram category, while Inoke Lingeri recorded the same result in the men's 85-kilogram category. Tyra Elizabeth Maki won silver medals in the women's physique and over 50-kilogram categories. Meanwhile, the annual Mr. and Miss Fiji Championships will be held at the Holiday Inn in Suva next Saturday. That's it from sports this evening. Business is up next with Jackie.
New financial institutions around the country must keep up to date with technological changes. Attorney General and Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Kayu made the statement while launching the South Pacific Stock Exchange's cloud-based registry software today. Ali Kimbia has more.
This cloud-based registry software will assist various businesses listed on the stock market to keep up with the technological changes.
It must adopt technology that actually exists in other parts of the world. Otherwise, you'll get left behind.
The software is the first in the country, and Syed Qayyum says new technology can also have an adverse effect.
Technology can also be the greatest divider. And the fact of the matter is this. If, for example, if everybody in Fiji, everybody in Viti Levu or in Suvarnasori corridor has access to 4G and has access to digital television, etc., and now we are going to have more educational tools based on technology. But if there are parts of Fiji that actually does not have internet connection, in Lau or Kandavu or in some interior parts of Viti Levu,
With this technology in place, the exchange can also now confidently move towards scriptless trading, which is adopted internationally.
This software will help businesses access the information on stock trading online. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
It was warm and humid across the country today with partly cloudy skies and even few thunderstorms in the east. Looking at the temperatures, Lambasa topped today's temperatures at 33 degrees. Sabu Sabu was the coolest at 30. Tomorrow will be more of the same, warm, humid and a good chance of showers and thunderstorms in the east and north. And the further outlook, we're looking ahead to Sunday. The hot spell continues with the forecast of showers in the east. At sea, easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots and moderate swells. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Fiji secures 3 years Super Rugby hosting rights. Over $23 million collected for Prime Minister's Relief Fund, and reforms help FMPF become a billion-dollar institution. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to our poll question this week, we are asking, is Gareth Baber the right choice for Sevens coach? To answer, visit our FBC website. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Ni Modamamba.